We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Hướng thính đại đức tận thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh duyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Saranto Chite Doye Olahodi Sanyao San Puto Sie. Namo Tadakha Toya Daya Alahade Tameo Dambo Datwa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yi wo jin jian wen de shou qi Yen Jie Ru Lai Zhe Shi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，弥陀佛。Evokota kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư và Thượng Thiện Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 4th of December 2022. We are here at Way Mountain Temple to continue discussing the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. Right now we are on slide number 827. This as per our tradition, even though it's a chanti, is kind of unusual because typically the chanti, during a chanti, you don't speak sutra, you don't really do anything, but that would take things away from your Chan practice. So traditionally, I don't think the Chan people explain sutras. But I found that explaining sutra is helpful for here in our country because for two major reasons. Number one, these sutras will help you plant the seeds of wisdom, of great wisdom, the Varsha seeds of wisdom. Particularly here, the Avatamsaka Sutra is a real tremendous blessing to be able to even listen to the sound of the sutra. Just listen to the sutra. I remember when I was at Master YongHua's temples after he died, his disciples basically, when they explained the sutra here, they read the sutra and spoke very superficially. And so And they did it week after week, year after year, because it's tremendous blessings for you to generate when you simply listen to the sound of the sutra itself. And then that's yours. Those seeds of wisdom are yours. Not only are they seeds of wisdom, they also generate tremendous blessings for you. So in other words, if your wife tells you, how come you're not working, making more money? You say, I'm working. I'm making more blessings. It's just not money yet. That's all. Okay? And that's a source of future wealth, folks. Your wealth is from your blessings. Okay, and so that's the main reason is for you to plant seeds of wisdom, because typically, if you practice meditation and you don't, and this is documented in the Shrangama Sutra, you only simply meditate like most people, like the externalists, like most Chan, most meditation students, they simply meditate, and that's about it. What happens is then you run into the problem of having excessive concentration and not enough wisdom. And therefore, you run into trouble. You will abuse your concentration, your samadhi power. And so this, I found that through the years, especially the last several years, the explaining sutras really seems to really be of great help for the Chan practitioners. That's the main reason. Okay, and the other reason being that we want to go a little bit deeper into. So I'm sorry. Those are two main reasons: both wisdom and blessings. You need to plant both in order for your Chan practice to bear fruits quicker. So it may not look like it to you, but these Chan Chi events or these Chi events are designed to generate tremendous blessings for you, for all the people who are involved. Okay, and without these blessings, you will not be able to make progress. You need more and more and more and more blessings. Okay. All right. Here we are on slide 828. Yes, questions?
Thank you, Master. We have a YouTube question from Jane Clymer, but before we read it, I just want to express my gratitude to our YouTube audience. Currently, we have 29 people live on the English YouTube channel.
Wow, 29 people live. Wow. That's wonderful.
Jane asks, the first 4 lines of Shurangama mantra were used in the invocations before lecture. Can Shifu please explain the reason behind using the first 4 lines of the Shurangama mantra?
And that's the meaning, exactly the meaning of those 4 lines. Is the Namo Sanatu Chedo Ye Elahudi Samyo Samputo She. Those 4 lines means that how much of the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. That's what it means. Okay, so we want to show pay our respect and deference to the great teacher. Okay, to the Buddha. All right. Anything else? Okay, very good. So here, we are in the section of discussing the bigwigs who showed up at the Buddha's explanation of the Avatamsaka Sutra, which he did immediately after he became a Buddha. So you see, The one very first lesson right there is that when you're Buddha, you have wisdom, you do the most important things in life first. So that's what he did. He took care of the most important things that he had to do when he became a Buddha. So he became a Buddha in order to benefit bodhisattvas. So he did that. And bodhisattvas are strange beings. I was about to say a different word. But they're different. They're a different class by themselves, and therefore the Buddha was able to fulfill his responsibilities in 21 days. He spoke the sutra in 21 days only, and during that time, what's fantastic about this event is that the who's who in the universe. We're talking about the universe. Okay, came to listen to the sutra. So now this first chapter here we're investigating is helping us recognize who's in attendance and see how vast the world is. You know, we only hear of presidents, premiers, and general secretaries, and dictators, and so forth. But we are awakening to the fact that the world, the cosmos, is so much bigger than that. There's so many more people of power and influence. That's why our mind, our reference is so small. That's not a surprise that we have our priorities wrong. You know, we are pursuing the things that are so insignificant because of our confusion. We forget that we are getting further and further away from our Buddha nature, our best. Okay, and so this sutra here is this particular chapter here is referring to the big shots who were there and you'll be amazed as you go through this chapter and how vast the universe is, how well structured it is. Okay, we are here in the celestial beings, the kings of the heavens in this form realm. Okay, our realm is called desire realm, meaning that with full desires, we are completely scattered minded. Well, minds are completely scattered. We cannot concentrate. Okay, we get easily distracted, and we don't know what to do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. And the worldly people, they don't know what to do about it. And so eventually the spiritual paths teachers, the spiritual teachers taught us a concept called meditation to help us improve our concentration and so that we are more buffeted from the external stimuli. Okay, and that when you learn that, and then that's why these teachers, these non-Buddhist teachers, we call the external past teachers, they're able to help us help living beings, humans develop concentration power. And as a result, these beings at the end of their lives, they were very serious. They said, wow, this is so fascinating. This is so much more fun than I thought was possible. So at the end of their lives, they got to go up to these heavens. And what happened? The Buddha came around and says, oh yeah, those heavens, we know there are beings there. We need to make sure we send bodhisattvas there to save them too. So therein lies the invisible forces. Okay, that later George Lucas called it the force. Okay, of the universe, because Buddhas care. And so he sent all these bodhisattvas, mind you, these beings are not Buddhas yet. They are bodhisattvas. If Buddhas can do it too, but if the Buddha had to do it, then these bodhisattvas won't have a chance to become Buddhas themselves. And so that's why he sent all these bodhisattvas throughout the various planes of existence in the universe to help all these beings. Okay? And so that's why, again, you see, as this first chapter unfolds, you see, oh wow, then you realize right here we're talking about the form realm. Okay, we are at the desire realm. We are full of desire. We are so scattered. Okay, and we learn as we learn meditation and spiritual practices, we're able to develop concentration. Then we migrate into the form realm. And if at the end of your lives, if you're able to maintain your concentration in that form, in your highest level of concentration, then you go into this form realm. You'll be reborn to these form realms, these heavens, okay, where it's far better than here in the desire realm. And you see why as you go through these, and you say, oh wow, that's why they aspire to be born, and they chose to be born there, and they got to be born there. All right? Yeah. So you see, slowly and gradually, the people like us, we develop insights into the universe, have better ideas about what's really going on than just what we know, as what our engineers and professors and worldly teachers can gather for themselves. Okay, so here we are talking about the kings of the heavens, pervasive purity. 828, moreover, there were countless kings of the heavens of pervasive purity.
复有无量遍净天王。
Your voice now seems to be normal. Welcome back. Okay, 829 commentary. And this is the heaven of pervasive purity, which is the third heaven of the third dhyana heavens. Okay? So the first three dhyanas, dhyana number one, that's as soon you from the desire realm here where we are, as soon we learn to concentrate, we escape the desire realm, and we go into the form realm, and that's the first dhyana heavens. That has three heavens, and then we continue our practice, improve the second dhyana, which has three heavens. Third dhyana has three heavens as well. So this is the top of the third dhyana heaven. That's why it's the ninth heaven of the form realm. Okay? Yes, sir. Number one.
Master, I have a question. Is there any record, or is it even relevant? These celestial beings, were they in existence and present in heaven when Buddha made his first announcements of these sutras?
Yes, they have always been around. This is like us. We born and we die, we born, we die, born, we die. Same thing. These heavens, they're born up there, and they when they're at the end of their lives, unlike what a poor Catholic was taught. He thought that he'd go to his God in his desire realm, he'll live there forever. It's not true. He'll go up there and live for around 9 billion years or something like that. And then at the end of that lifespan, he'll die, and he'll most likely will fall. Okay? And that's what happens, like everything else. Okay? Nothing lasts forever. Even Buddha, when he came to our world, our desire realm, he was born and then he has to die. Okay, so that's if the Buddha has to go through that, so must we all. Okay, And so if you engage in these spiritual practices, you're able to refine your thoughts, your mind. And that's why at the end of your lives, if you're able to enter Samadhi, that Samadhi, then you'll be born there. You have very strong chances of being reborn there. Okay, and they live for a long, long time. If a Catholic goes, his boss, he'll live for 9 billion years. And that's, at that time, he'll be born there. You know, how young is he? Okay, you know, he's by the time he dies, and he'll be near his God for 9 billion years. Think about that. And so Maitreya Bodhisattva will be born here in 16 million years. He'll come to our world in 60 million years. So that's why, but when he comes, because Catholic doesn't know it yet, when he's born up there, he cannot travel. He can't come as freely as he is able to right now, thanks to his girlfriend. So these heavenly beings, they exist, they live for a long, long, long time. Longer than the Buddha. Because when Buddha takes on a human body, he's subject to the karmas, the karmic retributions of human bodies. The beings that have a human body have a certain level, a certain set of karmic obstructions because of that thing called the body. Okay? So this is the third dhyana heavens. This is the top of the third dhyana heaven. It's called pervasive purity. When you go to second dhyana, you still experience joy. Okay, you still have this joy in your samadhi. But when you go to third dhyana, then you put an end to your thoughts. That's why it's called a place of purity. Purity means that there's certain types of thoughts are absent in your samadhi. Okay, your samadhis have thoughts, your mind still are active, contrary to popular belief. That's why you can look at you, oh yeah, because your mind is still churning like crazy, whether you're aware of it or not. And so when you get to this third dhyana here, you have put an end to coarse thoughts, whatever it is. It's coarse, your coarser thoughts. Okay? Don't try to understand too much. It's just a distinction that the Buddha taught for our reference. Okay? Even at something called whatever called thought, it still has a coarse and the finer part of it. So don't worry about it. It's not going to help you in your spiritual practice, your Chan practice. Just be aware of it for general reference. Okay, and you see why? You see the structure, the hierarchy of the real world folks. It's not just us Americans and the rest of the world. No. It's a lot more that we all human beings are subject to the rule of the Christian God, Catholic's boss. Okay, and then he himself is subject to the first dhyana heavens king. Okay, he rules over the Catholic king, Christian king, and so forth. You see, in our realms, even our desire realm, there's a structure, a hierarchy already. And you see, and you go into the form realm, also hierarchies up there as well. Okay, and so they put an end to coarse thoughts. Okay, and that's why it's called purity, pervasive purity. Okay, they have no more coarse thoughts. Okay, question from JC.
Hello. 된 거야?
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요, Master. Hello, this is a question from Internet Bulletin Board in Korea. This person's question is, he's been reading through some materials in our online sources. According to those articles, you mentioned that there are 8 different Samadhi levels. And the externalists, they have limitation to go up to 8th level of Samadhi. And then there is 9th level of Samadhi. The question is, you mentioned that there are levels above the 9th. How do we confirm those levels, and up to how many levels do we have?
There are quite a few more levels than just 9. 9 is actually no 9. I call it 9 for just for your reference. So the contrast it to 8, meaning that the non-Buddhist practices, the practitioners, the highest they can ever aspire to reach is 8 dhyana. So that's why I decided to call when I started teaching Chan, I decided to to set a goal for you, that the Chan we teach you, and the Chan we give you, all our instructors train you in, is to help you get to 9th, to differentiate ourselves. Okay, 9th is something that only us Buddhists meditation practices can realize, can attain. Okay, and that itself is very, very difficult. It is known fact. It's so difficult that it is said for this era, our times, it's very, very rare to find people who can certify to it, can reach that. Whereas when the Buddhas in the world was called the proper Dharma age, our time right now is called Dharma ending age, meaning the Dharma, Buddha Dharma is shrinking, is disappearing from our world. It's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Okay, and so during when the Buddha was in the world up to 500 years after, it's called the Dharma, proper Dharma age, because people who back then during those times, they just practiced meditation and they quickly can certify to 4th stage arhats or higher. It's very, very easy for them. Nowadays, it's quite a struggle for us. So that's why, for me personally, you can talk all you want, but if you practice non-Buddhist practices, you can reach is 8th. Okay, no one else can reach higher than 8th. The Buddhists, when you look at the Buddhist practitioners, lots of Buddhist practitioners reach various levels of samadhi from 1 to 8, and then quite a lot in a number reach 9th or the 4th stage arhat. For example, you go to Master YongHua's temples, you find a lot of those people. Usually, the ones that quite a few of them, the ones that you can tell the ones that are 4th stage arhats, and his temples are the one who says, I don't want to talk to you, get out. They don't smile, they don't talk to you. They said they have no interest in you. Okay, because they're in bliss. They're so happy already. They don't need you. They don't need your money. They don't need your adoration. They don't need your cars. They need nothing. It's a state of bliss that is very, very special, and that's the true happiness, if you will. If you are seeking happiness, you need to get to the level of 4th stage arhat, or we call it for short an arhat, because there's 4 stages, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 4 the top is the hardest. 1, 2, 3 is fairly easy for you to get to, but 4th is very difficult. It takes a long, long time to get there. And so when you get there, it is very, very nice. It's indescribable. Okay? And so that's why it's very difficult. And beyond that, you see a lot of those practitioners, the disciples of Master YongHua. You go to his temple, you can recognize them right away because they're so detached. They're unafflicted because the 4th stage arhats put an end to their afflictions already. That's what they called. They are able to enter the samadhi where in the samadhi they have 0 afflictions. Okay, that means the samadhi of the exhaustion of afflictions. Only them can do that. Below people like us, we can't. Okay, and that's why it's an incredible state. If you think you're happy right now and you're satisfied with yourself, you ain't seen nothing yet until you get to 4th stage arhat. Just for reference. Seriously, I don't care how rich you are, how famous you are, how happy you are. Okay? Wait until you get to 4th stage arhat and I say, yeah, this is what I want. Trust me. It's incredible. It's nice. And then beyond that, now you have many more samadhi levels and many more gradations. That's a lot. I don't care to go through them for you. It's meaningless to you. I can tell you there are dozens or more than dozens, a few dozens or so forth. It's all meaningless to you. Okay. You just simply need to know that get to 4th stage arhat, and beyond that, it's not easy. I see, you people, some of you get to 3rd stage arhat already. I know you're going to struggle for years. I'm warning you, it's not going to be easy. Okay, and actually, remember a funny thing. I got to 3rd stage arhat some times ago. By chance, I don't know how. Okay, I just meditated and got there. I said, "Oh, I'm at 3rd stage arhat," and sure enough, Master YongHua disciples also knew I got 3rd stage arhat. One of his disciples, and for some reason he pays attention to me, so he flew over, and he said, "Ha ha 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 ha! Oh, now you're going to be having a heck of a time trying to get to 4th." As soon as I got to 3rd, immediately showed up and said, "Ha ha 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 ha!" What does it tell you? This guy has nothing to do. Seriously. You guys at 3rd stage, I don't fly over and say, "Ha ha ha ha." It's weird. These people are so weird, And so I said, "Oh yeah?" So I said, "I'm going to show you." So I practiced, and 2.5 months later, I got to 4th. Okay, got to 4th. I think, okay, not verified yet. I think, and then I said, "Wow, it was real struggle." And then now I look at you guys, you got from 3rd to 4th, it's so easy, so fast. I said, "My God, that guy gave me the wrong impression. His Dharma door is so difficult, but ours isn't." That tells you the difference. For them, it's very difficult. For us, it's not. Okay. However, from 8th samadhi, 9th samadhi or 4th, or a fourth stage Arhat, to first ground Bodhisattva, that's what you want to go to next, okay? It's not easy. It's very difficult. And many of my disciples are doing that, and they're finding out, say, boop, 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 and they are just, it's just, their speed is incredible. Okay? So the answer to the question, yes, there's lots of gradations, and you find out when you get there, and it's amazing how it's really a lot of fun, folks. Once you get to fourth stage Arhat, the ninth Samadhi, you are what I classify as very, very special. All of you are special, of course, but you are very, very special. Okay? All right. Any other question? It's fun, folks. You got, let me put it this way. It's very important for you. First milestone is get to first dhyana, which for you is like piece of cake. Let me tell you, when at my time, I was willing to kill just to get the first dhyana because I heard so much of it. And there's no information on how to get the first dhyana. In my master's instruction, I said, I read about it. I got a first stage, first dhyana, second dhyana, fifth samadhi, eighth samadhi. I said, it's too far for me. Yeah, too far-fetched for me. Let me get the first dhyana. Then we'll see. Okay? And then, so I asked around, tell me, how do I get the first dhyana? Because it's so important. It's such a big deal. Because you're where we are right now, you don't have any taste of liberation, that nice feeling that you experience when you get out to the first dhyana. So I said, I better find out. Okay? So no one could tell me how to get the first dhyana. It's not until later I stumbled into it. And it's not until later I understood why, how to get the first dhyana. I know most of you, yeah, okay. You're totally unimpressed. I was really struggling hard because I'm very goal-oriented. I need to know where I'm going, And for me to continue to meditate, I need to experience the advantage of meditation. If I told you that first dhyana is nice, I need to know what it's like. Fourth, and after that, you go to first stage Arhat. Okay? That's very significant. And after first stage, you get to fourth stage Arhat. It's very, very, third and fourth and so forth. It's for you nowadays, it's like automatic. Just don't quit. Come to the temple, follow the instruction, you get there. But for me, personally, there's no explanation. This is why I feel that the people in our era, the young ladies right there, are very Americanized. They don't buy into it unless you give them a clearer path, a clearer picture, overall picture. For some reason, I didn't quit because typically I would quit. I said, this is nonsense. If I don't know where I'm going, I don't know how to get there. What's the point in doing it? It's weird. Sometimes you do things in a stupid way. That sometimes you luck out. Go ahead, JC.
So the same person had a following question after that.
Of course.
Can Master YongHua's disciples also recognize some levels? Or is it just Master YongHua, we need to wait Master YongHua to come to Korea and ask him? That's the only way. I asked this question only because there are so many scammers in this country. So I decided to ask you directly.
Okay, fair question, fair justification. Master Xinhua said this rule, gave me this rule of thumb. Okay, He says, when I read a lot of his Chan teachings. Actually, I read everything before I jumped head first, all the translations into English. And he said, if you're higher level samadhi, you can't recognize the lower level samadhis. That's a rule of thumb. Okay? Meaning that in principle, if you're higher level samadhi, you can recognize the lower levels. That's why the disciple of Master YongHua clearly was higher a level than fourth stage Arhat. That's why he came to me and hassled me immediately and said, "Boy, are you going to struggle?" But it's only because he doesn't know how to guide people through. Anyway, Chan skills are not high enough. So the point here is that in general, in principle, in theory, there are a lot of high-level practitioners in Korea right now. Okay, that's called a high level. Okay, which is pretty decent level, if you will, because the system in Korea, they have put in place a system that will encourage them to get to those levels. Okay, and that's remarkable to me. Okay, but also it's remarkable because they don't have the advanced technology in Mahayana training that we have, that we got from the Chinese. Okay, yes, in general, the higher level people, higher level teachers in Korea can recognize your level up to a certain extent. Okay, but it's no guarantee that they're going to be accurate. Okay, the guy who came harass me. His level was pretty high, higher than the one in Korea, on the Sunim in Korea at the time. Some bad things happened to him recently, so he regrets a little bit. Okay, so that's why he's able to recognize a lot of people. Okay, so. In principle, you should be able to, because you should be able to develop that ability if you work for it. Okay, but my impression, specifically for Korea, my impression, I admit to you, my exposure is very limited. I'm not privy, I don't have access to all the great cultivators. Because of my low level, but my impression is that the ones I met, all the Sunims I met, were not able to recognize my disciples' levels. They just knew that they are pretty good, but they could not recognize them at all. Okay, so the general answer to your question, yes, you should have some people who are able to recognize it, your levels, but they're always scammers, so it's not a whole lot you can do. It's no guarantee. Okay. And as a related concern is that I went to Korea and I personally started because I really enjoyed my Korean disciples and the students who showed up to learn from us. And so I said, well, let's tell you, let me be honest with you, I want to teach you Chan, Son, because I think our Son is, will be more beneficial to you, but also I want you also to be exposed to the American Pure Land Dharma door as well, because I feel that the American Pure Land Dharma door is better than yours, better than Chinese, okay? And then, so unfortunately, we ruffle feathers. There are a group of Koreans there, lay people, who chose to organize among themselves to practice reciting Buddha's name. And then they felt that what we advocated was different from what the Asian style of Pure Land Buddhism. And that's why we keep on calling to your attention, it's not Chinese Buddhism. Pure Land Buddhism is American Pure Land Buddhism. And what happened is that they called up Master Xinhua's temples, and they said, hey, there's a monk there who seems to be claim to have learned the Dharma from your master, and then now he's teaching Pure Land. Is this for real? Is this for real? It's a valid concern, but so the answer they got is that no, he's a fake. And I chuckled. I said, no, you're the fake, because you don't even understand Master Xinhua's Pure Land Dharma. Case in point, at your temple, Master Xinhua made it very clear, you're not allowed to do 49-day service. What kind of Buddhist temple is that? There's something wrong with you. That's why your master would not allow you to do 49-day service. How dare you comment about other people's things? You just say you don't know, you idiots. How dare you? You're committing serious offenses. You do that because, with these people, they commit serious offenses, and I'm not happy because it will prevent them from going to the Pure Land. They are excluding themselves by creating offenses like this. These are severe offenses. In this era, the Pure Land Dharma door is one of the most important Dharma doors. Because the Pure Land people, the Pure Land Dharma will save a lot more than the Chan Dharma door. No comparison. Okay, it's hands down. We help a lot more people get to the Pure Land than people who get to the fourth stage art or higher. It's no comparison. Okay. Once you go to the Pure Land, you're guaranteed to become a Buddha. How is that? I can't do that with Chan Dharma door. You go to the Pure Land, you become a Buddha next lifetime. That's it. One lifetime. We can't do it with Chan. All of you, including myself. It's too late for us to become a Buddha now. At the end of our lives, that's impossible. Too late for us. When you go to Pure Land, one lifetime, you will become a Buddha under Amitabha's guidance and teaching. Don't ever forget how important that is. That's a big picture. Yes, one.
Master, I was just wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more how it becomes more people get advanced with Pure Land as opposed to Chan.
Yes. The advanced practitioners actually practice reciting Buddha's name. They don't practice Huatou, for example. Huatou is too slow. You recite the Buddha's name, you can go very, very far. It's just that people haven't got there yet with the current people, and that's why they don't realize it can go very far. Very, very far. Okay, and so in answer to the gentleman's question, yes, there are lots of scammers. So what he can do is stick to, if he wants to learn Son, he sticks to the big 3 temples. They're pretty good. I really have a lot of respect and admiration for the Korean system, like with the Thai system. They are very solid. Okay, you go to those temples and don't have a bad attitude, thinking that I'm here, I'm special, treat me, save me, or or serve me. Okay, these Sunims are very, very tough. They're not going to teach you unless you deserve to be taught. It's not like us. We're desperate. We teach anyone. Look at you. Okay, so we take a stone, we turn it into a diamond. Okay, their technology, they need to look at a diamond first and they polish you up. For us, we have transformation to turn you into diamond quality, and then we polish you up. So there's a lot more work for us. Okay, and so these people, they are good. They're good, like Master YongHua's disciples. They have very sound foundation to practice Chan. Just don't know how to teach Chan. That's all. But their Pure Land is too weak. And because Master YongHua, for some reason, chose not to explain to them. I didn't understand it. Okay, my Pure Land, yes, I learned from reading from Master YongHua after I practiced Chan. So that's why I understand a lot more about Pure Land. And I realized that them people, they are not at the level where they can understand the Pure Land Dharma door, and that's why they should know better and just shut their mouths and not comment on it, because they're creating serious offenses. Go ahead, JC.
This is my question from XA Master, just to know my name.
Hello, XA. It's nice to have you. It's nice to hear your name again.
So, Master, if the lay people who go to the major temple in Korea, like 3 major temples, who go there not like specifically trained in Son, but they just do recitation or do regular ceremonies, those people, do they have some kind of Samadhi power, a lot of people?
Which those people?
Like those Buddhist followers, they are not trained in Chan meditation or Son meditation. They don't really sit and meditate, but they are stuck in the system, like they volunteer and work there, do the regular ceremonies. Do they also have some Samadhi power?
Xianan, Sunim. Okay. Do you have a lot of power, Samadhi? No.
Not a lot, but like, do they have some kind of Samadhi power or nothing?
Not much. And at least what I noticed so far. It takes, because of their style of training in Korea, their system of training, it needs to be pretty intensive, not like us. Us, we are 4 Americans, we're all lazy. The Koreans are a lot tougher, a lot more diligent, more vigorous than we are. We're weak, so it must be a Dharma for weak people. Okay, so because over there, the culture for the Koreans is so vigorous that they're expected to work hard, and unless you work hard, you will not be given special considerations. Whereas over here in the U.S., no one works hard. So we need to give special consideration to lazy people, all of you. Arrogant, lazy, and stupid. Okay? So it's different system. You have to get into the inner circles. That's when you are able to get special attention. Because remember, the Buddhist training is very personal. You don't just go and, like we have like a big assembly. We keep on talking on big assembly. I'm telling you, but you don't realize it. The big assembly is for you to learn how to practice Mahayana Dharmas, but actually without our paying to you, attention to you, each and every one of you, you will not be able to make progress. So you can go to the Korean temples, or 3 big temples, okay? The comment was designed to tell you that there are good practitioners in those temples, and therefore you Koreans and you non-Koreans, if you want to plant blessings at Mahayana, you can make donations and you can go to those temples and make offerings, because you gain a lot or you're creating a lot of blessings for yourself. It's worth noting that. Yeah, so if you, and so that's why it's remarkable that the Koreans have such a system where they have 3 major temples, and you go there and plant your blessings there, you can't go wrong. But for you to say, I go plant blessings, therefore I be a good practitioner, well, that's a different thing. It's a different level of blessings. Okay? But the Koreans are very strong there, and unfortunately, they're not keeping up with the change of the times. Now they're losing too many disciples because their training is not able to handle the young generation's interests anymore. Okay, there's a revolution in Korea where the young people are rejecting. They said it's not working for them. It didn't work for their parents, so they're refusing because of the American influence. See, everyone, the whole world is becoming American, including the Chinese communists are becoming Americanized to fight the Americans. Okay? And what happened is that because of the influence from the Western culture, they question everything now. They say, oh, why do they have to do that? That's like these Chinese people. They when the Master Shah explained the Dharma, no one dare ask any question. Now I wish I were there because I love to ask questions to this great teacher. Only you would ask me questions, but at the time, they ask stupid questions. No one dared ask, penetrating questions. So anyway, so that's why the Korean Buddhism, as well as Taiwanese Buddhism, as well as Chinese Buddhism, as well as Vietnamese Buddhism, you name it, Thai Buddhism, they cannot get the young people to come to the temples anymore because they're not serving the young people's needs. The young people nowadays are too Americanized. They question everything. Why? And this woman asked me why since day one. And it doesn't matter I slap her. It doesn't matter how often I slap her face. She still asks why. That's so American. What are you going to do? You better have something that serves them. Otherwise, they will never stop. Yeah, I developed the ability to enjoy slapping her, and that's all. You see, so that's what happened. If you didn't have the American influence, Korean Buddhism would be just as strong as before, or Thai Buddhism or Vietnamese Buddhism, because it's built upon tradition of respect and faith. But the Western civilization, they have so much doubt. They demand that you prove to them. And that's why now Buddhism is shrinking everywhere, not just Korea. Okay? Or it turns out in many countries in Asia, they got into Buddhism, the demons got into Buddhism, and they stir it so that they dilute it to the point where the young monks and nuns who managed to lead the home life and managed not to quit, they have no training anymore. That's a scary thing. If we don't train our Sangha anymore, Buddhism dies. The training technology is very, very important. We don't train for the future generation. We don't train the future generation properly. It's no more. Okay? And it's just for us internal debates. But for you, all of you, lay people and people out there, non-Buddhists and Buddhists alike, it's about, bottom line is that, are we serving your needs? Traditionally, you're supposed to come and serve us because we're on a pedestal. But it's not the case anymore. Young people like her say, what are you doing for me? Yes? And that's why we have to earn our places. We have to earn our way through these challenging times. Okay, but it's fun you of that. And then you can grow a lot faster. If you realize that you have to earn your way, then you'll be better prepared. Either you quit and you don't quit, then you'll be better prepared. Go ahead, JC.
Sorry, this is my last question. I have a lot of questions today. Many times I hear from our lay people who are pretty new to our system in Korea.
Yes.
They say, I'm wondering how it feels like to enter Samadhi, or I wish if I can even go to the first dhyana. I cannot recognize the levels exactly, so I cannot really provide answers or help them to realize they actually are making some improvement. But I hear many people in Korea, they somehow believe they don't have no Samadhi. Like they think Samadhi is something like really difficult or like up there for some reason. So my question is, if people who come here regularly and sit every day, would you say it's fair that some people develop Samadhi like at least first or second dhyana from meditation practice regularly in full lotus?
Yeah, it's fairly easy. All they have to do is come to the meditation class that is held there on the weekend by Master Z. In general, they go there every single weekend. They should be able to enter Samadhi within 3 months. And practice. They go there on the weekend and practice for 1 hour as per our recommendation every day. Entering first dhyana is fairly easy. It's more or less automatic for us, for our students. So yes, but with caveat that you have to practice as follow our guidelines. Try to get into full lotus and fight it. Okay, try to shoot for 1 hour. Okay, and break through the first pain barrier and practice every day and come to the temple on the weekend. They'll enter first, second dhyana. It's fairly easy. It's no big deal at all. And if they're sincere, they even enter a lot faster. Okay, anything else? Okay. 829. So this is the top of the third dhyana heavens, where they have no more coarse thoughts. Because they have no more coarse thoughts, that's when they're called purity, and that's why they're happier. So the concept here, folks, is that worldly people in our world think too highly of thinking, of thoughts, okay? And because they have no way of controlling the thoughts. Here, with the meditation practices, you're able to end your coarse thoughts. That's when you begin to enjoy, to find joy that you cannot find in your normal lives. That's a very important concept to be aware of. So my point is worth investing if you're into kicks and joy and odd things, experiment things. I would highly recommend meditation. Okay? And so this is third dhyana, so still subject to the three calamities. By the end of this kalpa, there will be three calamities. The first calamity is the fire calamity. There will be 10 suns appearing in our skies and will burn up everything up to the first dhyana heaven. And so life here in Los Angeles will come to an end. Everything burns into ashes. Anna's house, Vicky's car, everything. All the houses you have in Mexico, as well as in Whittier, all be burned up. All our temples too. Think about it. And the world will come, the world, everyone will die. Okay? And the lucky ones will be moved higher. You can come higher, the higher heavens. They will be out of reach. And then the second, and then after the fire disaster calamity is over, then the people return. Like they will come back to Ukraine now and so forth. Okay, eventually. Okay, that's how it is. And then the second disaster is the flood, the water disaster. The flood, the water will rise. You see, it started, this climate change is starting already. Well, it will be a lot longer before it rises up to the second dhyana heavens, and we drown everyone there. Everyone down here up to the second dhyana heaven. And then because of those you who are good, like Ru disciples, hopefully, some Ru disciples are pretty evil. We throw them out already. Disown them already. But the good Ru disciples, like Maya princess here, will be moved to out of danger. So all the living beings down there will die up to the second dhyana heavens. They all die. They all are submerged in water, underwater, till they drowned. And after the water recedes, then the beings come back to the heavens again, second dhyana heaven, first dhyana heaven, and our desire realm as well. Okay, and then finally there's a third disaster called the wind disaster, where the wind blows so strong, destroyed up to the third dhyana heaven. It includes this dhyana, including this very heavens of pervasive purity here, and destroyed everything. Okay, and so that's why the non-Buddhists, their wisdom is, as I said, you know what? When you practice our spiritual path, try to get up to 4th dhyana heaven or a little bit higher. Try to get to 8th Samadhi, where you be free from all this and be so blissful and so forth. And it's only because that's as far as they could go. Whereas you people would go a lot further up than that. 831. Shall we learn something? Specifically, the word celestial king, pure renowned.
所谓清净名称天王。
Okay, 832. Remember, this is the heavens, 3rd dhyana heavens, top of it. So that's a heaven where they put an end to the coarse thoughts. Okay, a lot less thinking, if you will. And that's why they call purity. Purity refers to no thoughts. So no coarse thoughts, that's why it's called pure. Is that clear? In Buddhism, you need to recognize these names. They convey a certain form of practice. Okay, so this celestial king here, the representative king here, this is the most influential one, and his purity is very well known. Okay, and so that's why he's very influential. Celestial king, supreme views.
最胜见天王。
All right, 834 commentary. Superior 最胜见 supreme views, meaning that they have the proper perspective, the proper knowledge, so that this person has here the proper foundations. Okay, and the comment here is like, what's proper? Well, let's talk about what's improper. What's improper is looking at people's faults. That's improper. Okay, you keep on looking at people's faults, you will not make progress. Right? So the supreme views is one of it, which is don't look at others' faults. 835, celestial king, serene virtue.
极尽德天王。
All right, 836. What is this particular bodhisattva? Do not look down upon these beings, those people those of you who are in the arhats range. Okay, they are actually bodhisattvas. Okay, they're not really truly 3rd dhyanas levels at all. They're actually bodhisattvas pretending to only have 3rd dhyana. Okay, so he says Ji Jing. So this serenity is a clue for you to say this particular celestial king meditates a lot. Okay, and so because he meditates a lot, in addition to another thing that I referred to earlier, that when you have this meditation, samadhi, this dhyana, you need to have the proper teachings, the proper views, the proper seeds of prajna for you to develop virtue, to develop wisdom. This is very important. Okay? Without that foundation, without the proper teachings, the proper views, the proper knowledge, okay, the proper transcendental knowledge, the proper prajna knowledge, the proper prajna seeds, you will have no wisdom. Okay? And so that's why your virtue will be lacking. Virtue arises from wisdom. Because part of the nature of wisdom is that you help others. You never worry about yourself. I don't care what you do. You practice Mahayana practices. And this is one of the fallacies of these Son practitioners. And that's why I feel that most meditation trainings lack that foresight, lack that global view, that big picture, is that they're not emphasizing the foundations of virtue. And that's why eventually they get stuck. They can only rise so far. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. I've been thinking about something that you have been saying quite a bit lately about how we need to learn to be all-embracing. And I'm trying to, it's a funny situation because, when you hear about wanting to be all-embracing, embracing everybody, it sounds, very noble and something you want to achieve. But then when you really get down to it, how do you do it?
How do you do it?
How do you do it when
you have a spy coming to your temple, how do you embrace them?
Right.
What happened to Gu Yin? She went downstairs and slept or something? Anyway, what do you do when you see a spy coming to your temple? How do you embrace them? Yes. Have you taken a shower today? Yes, 1. How do you embrace people?
Thank you, Master. I like to start by showing them to the snack table and
Snack table.
making them feel comfortable
And that you embrace them when they don't pay attention? We're talking about embracing. We're not talking about snacking.
I'm sorry, Master, I fail to see the difference.
Okay, touche. Okay, let me ponder it. Okay, anyone else? How do you embrace people that are different from you? Yes? 2?
Yeah, I speak Mandarin.
Sure, speak whatever language you feel comfortable.
我是以慈悲心还有菩提心来感化他，这是我们佛门。
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Translation?
I use kindness and body-mind to embrace them.
Okay, and that works. That's a good theory. But what if that person hasn't taken a shower for a long time and he farts like crazy? Excuse me. Yeah, how you embrace someone? Yes, Maya Princess. 7.
By just accepting.
Accepting them? Just accepting them. Oh, very good. Go first. How do you do it? How do you embrace people?
A Di Đà Phật, dạ không thấy lỗi người thì tự nhiên mình bao dung được và sống ở đâu cũng dễ chịu.
Don't look at others' faults. Right, Hùng? And then you feel at ease. Yes, 7.
Well, it's a situation I kind of have to deal with.
You're going to answer yourself now?
Well, not really. Here's my situation that it's in my mind. There's someone, a husband and wife, we know them very well, and never really cared a lot for the wife. And she does things that are not nice, and she's also been pretty disrespectful to my family not too long ago. And now she says, oh, well, gee, we disinvited you to our daughter's wedding, but we want to go and go on vacation with you. And I find that very disingenuous, and I don't really want to go on vacation with someone.
My, how can people be like that?
I mean,
I hate it.
but it's just so weird. They invited us to their daughter's wedding.
This is like...
My husband writes back and says, we can't wait, we love to go. She calls me and says, wow, well, that's so close to your own daughter's wedding. We didn't think you'd accept.
Oh, wow.
We want another couple to come.
Oh, ouch.
And I was like, okay, I'll step away. Okay.
You didn't crash the wedding party?
I sent them a present. I mean, I was like,
oh, you have class. We are classy people.
Present.
We'll be poor, we'll be classy.
I'll be poor and classy.
Yeah, rather
then
classy
she
and poor than rich.
She goes and she calls me.
Yeah, DCH.
She calls me last week and says, okay, well, I told you about going on vacation because we disinvited you to the wedding. So,
how do you embrace him? How do you embrace such a person? Now we're talking. You see, I love it when you say, like, you mention names or faces or like neighbors or whatever. And now we can have something concrete to discuss. How do you embrace people? There's so many ways to embrace. You embrace a dog differently from a cat, Yeah. Two.
Yeah. 我们那个普门品有说啊，以同男同身得生者，我们就以同男同身得到他。如果他要间谍身来，我们就拿间身来度他。
I apologize. Can you repeat? Because the mic is hard to...
Yeah, a little bit like this. Don't go like this then, unless you speak through your nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
那个普门来说
There you go, better.
那个普门本来说，以同男同女身得道者，我们以同男同女身来度他。他以建立身来得度者，我们以间谍身来超度他。阿弥陀佛。
No, you don't understand Chinese?
I don't know how to translate this.
Okay, then try your best. That's all. That's all we have. We're not going to judge you. We will embrace it.
Well, he was mentioning in the Universal Dharma door that you use the... I don't know how to translate the word. 童男童女. Maybe Ray can help me from TTT.
Okay, Ray, help. Raise it. I wasn't listening.
Basically, in Universal Dharma door, you use whatever body you have. Use the same body to help the people.
But specifically, this woman here really bitter about the woman who invited her and now wants to go on vacation with her. How disgusting that is. She wants some relief. She's so worked up about this thing here. How can you possibly ask me to embrace such a woman? She says. Right? I mean, that's very specific. Give my little girl here a chance.
You show compassion and you show kindness and you endure, however hard it may be.
Okay, show kindness or compassion, do whatever.
Well, why should I go on vacation with her?
Yeah, really. I mean, that's sacred time. That's 5 days.
$1,200
Yeah.
my own money.
Yeah.
I can give a couple of months or give an offering of Medicine Master Buddha for her.
Yeah. See, she's got a good point. What's the point?
Why?
It seems to be like it's a waste of time, a waste of money. Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. I think there's an opportunity to embrace your friend with boundaries.
Okay.
For instance,
Specifically, what should she do?
Well, I was going to go with the farting example. If someone comes to the temple and is farting, you can embrace them by saying, "This is the farting zone, where you can fart." And in the case of your friend, you could say, "Well, my husband and I had really been looking forward to a romantic getaway, just the two of us. And while we're flattered with your invitation to our vacation, we are unavailable for you to attend."
So he says, don't embrace her temporarily. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, that sounds good.
He says, hey, I have limits. Yeah, he's very practical. He's very American. He says, I love you, but not as much. Not that much. Okay? I will embrace you, but not now. Not this time. Yes. Maybe another lifetime, she says. Yes, one.
Questions are lighting up on the internet.
No one wants to ask about the Avatamsaka Sutra. Now they want to know about how to embrace someone who farts.
Diego Alfonso states, I embrace people by compassion, by reminding myself about their background and knowing that they are suffering. Sophia Go says, thank you, Vicky, for sharing. I wouldn't blame her for her behavior. I tell myself that these personality traits are probably the result of many bad habits over lifetimes. And Diego also amplifies, embracing doesn't mean copying with whatever they want, but just accepting that they are that way and trying something else. Like, don't go on vacation with them because you have different plans, and that's it.
Some wisdom there. Very good. All right. Good comments. Yes. How about from the land of the not rising sun? JC.
Master, we have comment about Brady. What happened to Brady? He looks like some martial art master right now. Wide eyebrow, and I don't know, he just looks like some kind of spiritual master. I don't know.
Yeah, because Brady recently improved. Yeah. Yeah, he let go a lot of quite a few things. He's more at peace, aren't you? Can't you tell? All right, but he's still not embracing your friend, your neighbor. Yes, one.
Master, this is a little bit
Embarrassing?
well, we thought it was comical, but it was obviously a utilitarian move by yourself when you were confronted with a visitor to Lu Mountain who was a monk and also had stated publicly that he hadn't showered in 8 years. And I remember the evening that he was sitting up near you, and as he stated that, you went...
But that's a long time ago, my friend. I didn't understand about all embracing. I've changed since then. God, these people is like, they will never forgive you. You make one mistake, being honest. Go ahead, go Forrest.
A Di Đà Phật. Con xin góp ý với cô Vicky. Ở đây không có nói cái vấn đề cô Vicky tốt hay là xấu. Nhưng mà khi cô muốn bao dung cái người bạn đó thì cô cũng có quyền từ chối, chứ cô đâu có bắt buộc là phải nghe lời người ta. Nhưng là miễn sao trong lòng cô không có phiền não là được ạ.
Emitofuo, Master, I have an opinion in regards to Vicky matters. Here, we're not talking about how good or bad. When she make a decision about embracing others, she has a choice. She has the right to choose whether to go or not. But bao dung người ta? I'm sorry, I missed the last part. Cô có thể lặp lại cái phần cuối được không?
Dạ, cô có quyền từ chối lời mời của người ta, nhưng mà miễn sao trong lòng cô không có phiền não là được ạ.
She has the right to reject the invitation as long as her mind, in her heart, she doesn't have any affliction. It's okay.
Okay, very good. Yes, one. You change your stand.
Thank you, Master. I believe in options.
Okay.
I think another option is you could approach it like a middle school dance. And in I don't know if anybody remembers or in middle school is currently experiencing this. At a middle school dance, you have your sweetheart and you want to go to the dance for the first time and you want to embrace your sweetheart. And the teachers are so kind that they put a balloon between you and your sweetheart when you dance. So you're still embracing, but you have this inflatable cushion between you, right? So like if you knew that in advance of the dance, you may not have gone. So you could just say, yes, I'd be happy to embrace you, friend, with this balloon between us at the dance.
Very good. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, my little, these people are very active now. Yes, discussing embraces and love and those things. Anything but the Avatamsaka Sutra. 7.
Master, I agree with Vicky. And I had this problem for many years because it seems like the friend is the one that started this whole thing and she feels guilty. And so now she wants to invite Vicky and she's making Vicky feel guilty if she rejects it. So
what to do?
Vicky is afflicted because she feels guilty if she rejects it in a way.
I would feel guilty too, deep in my heart.
So in that sense, I agree with YongHua in that you can accept or decline, just don't be afflicted. It helped a lot.
Who is that again? From who? From you? Is that from you or from someone from some strange lands?
No. Oh, yes. It's something I had to work out all these years.
It's from your personal viewpoint. Okay, so she sides with YongHua and go for us. Yeah. Very good. Would you like to hear my answer or you want to keep going? Okay, I'm running out of time, boys and girls. Because I know you want to jump in. Okay. And this is why the Buddhist teaching needs us to interpret for you. Because you hear all embracing. And that's why you ask this question, you give these answers, you have these concerns. Yes, go ahead, go for us. No? Okay. So, no, don't suppress yourself, don't repress yourself. You feel like talking, talk. It's perfectly okay. Don't harm that person, people, and go for us. No harm will come to you, I promise. We will embrace you. Okay, so this is why in general you should ask questions, because when something says all embracing, you say, how do I do that in this particular situation? Yes, in theory, it's There's two sides to Buddhism: theory and practice. I hate it when I talk to the theory to people. Yeah, I understand. I got it. But they never put into practice. They put things in what I heard into practice. They find the problem that Vicky is experiencing. Yes, I like the concept, but I have this woman here that I find it hard to embrace. What am I supposed to do? I can embrace everyone else, but not her. Something like that. Yeah? So it's called principles and practice. Okay, so it's easy for you to say, yes, I understand, I agree with the theory, and you can throw another theory on top of theory to justify yourself. But the bottom line is, can you really do it in a real life, real situation? And if you can't, what if you just said that, is that really all-embracing? That's why it's important for you, number one, to ask questions, and number two, okay, to learn the principle, but be willing to ask questions, because the asking question is the actual practice. Okay, we need to interpret it for you. All embracing, as you finally came, all of you with your collective wisdom, all you finally came to the same conclusion, agreed to the same general conclusion. It's all embracing doesn't mean you have to embrace them all the time. Embrace sometimes only. Right? That's what you're saying. You're all saying that, yes, I like her, I like to, but not during vacation. During my vacation, I don't want to embrace you. Right? I do not want to embrace you, on Mondays.
2 hours, 1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, that's still all embracing. And that's the first level. The second level is that I will embrace because it's not for my sake. Your struggle for this woman here, Vicky, if you still remember her name, this woman here, she's finding it hard to embrace because she's embracing it for herself. There's that, I don't like this person. He sounds too much like me. Okay? Sometimes it's easier if you learn that the principle. In principles, I can embrace everyone. I can do all embracing. However, I find it hard to embrace some people when it rains, or when they're so mean to me. Okay, and that's when you learn to be a better person. That's why you have to ask, how do I do that? And I'm teaching you now. It's difficult for you to embrace her because you embrace her for the wrong reasons. You're all embracing in order to suppress your ego, to benefit the other person. I'm adding on top of it. The all embracing that you hear from others is actually said, suppress your ego, okay? And embrace them even though they fart, even though they haven't taken a shower for 8 years. Can you imagine? Okay, I can go so far. I go 5 years tops. Because there's still an ego there. It says, I don't like this. Okay. Whereas it's much easier for you, okay, that you can embrace in order to benefit them. So that's your excuse. Because if you go on vacation with her, you might end up killing her in Hawaii. Okay, that's not embracing. That's premeditated murder. Yes, Catholic. What's your Catholic wisdom?
I have a question. The monk that didn't shower for 8 years, does he mean that he was attached to not showering?
At first I was shocked. I said, no wonder, I know where that smell comes from. So I'm sorry, I failed to disguise my disgust, okay? But no, it's not about. What was your question again, sir?
Was he attached to not showering, or was he trying to get no attachments?
Yeah. As soon as he asked, I knew the question arose in my mind. As soon as he finished, I dropped it immediately. I'm getting old. If I didn't shower for 8 years, okay, and I'm not saying I did not, okay. Control yourselves, okay. Don't make that faces, okay. If I didn't shower for a long time, the last thing I would do is to bring it up. That's my problem. My disgust is, why do you bring it up? It's not like, hey. You see, Brady, poor Brady, he misunderstood me immediately. I was disgusted. He would bring it up. You believe me? Hey, you believe me or not? Okay. So the first level is you know, I need to be all-embracing. But in practice, I will do it at certain times only, and I will work on the rest of the times. I figure out how to do it more. And that's true in our practice. You don't just say, because Bodhisattva says so, because the Buddha says so. The Buddha says so, it sounds good, but I can't do it. That's two different things altogether. This is why you have to, when you do chant, we talk to you, but you still have to come and cross your legs. And you have to do it every day. That's how you get better in a chant practice. Okay? By doing it. Okay? All right. So virtue, Master Shea would like to remind us, to be virtuous is to help others and not let them know. And that's a Chinese style of explaining virtues. Okay? I will simplify it for you. It's, because if you do it like this, you say, I'm going to help, but I want to make sure they don't know. And that's too Chinese. This is why the Chinese struggle with the concept of virtue. I will offer you a better solution than Master YongHua's explanation. Would you like to learn? Okay? Virtues is that you help others, you benefit others, and you don't even remember. You don't remember, how can you brag about it? Just, virtue is just help. That's it. You have a chance to help, just help, and forget it, and then help. You're too busy helping to worry about telling people you helped that person, you did that. Because you're too busy helping, you help, and that's why it's easy for you to forget. Make sense? So why do you have to be, I help, but I don't want people to know? There's no need even to think about it. Some people say, Master, I want to do this, but don't tell others. I say, okay. then they forcing me to remember. See how clever they are? Huh? I love it. I mean, these people are so sneaky. And then I'm a better student, but don't tell anyone. I have to remember every time I lecture, I say, no, I can't go there. No, that's off limits. No wonder I'm getting old fast. Okay, all right? I have 10 more minutes. Shall we continue? Celestial King Sumeru sound.
须弥阴天王
Okay, 838. Sumeru is the tallest mountain in our world. Every single world has a tallest mountain called Sumeru, which is a symbol of our egos. The worlds are created, okay, to serve our egos, monuments. Any accomplishments that we achieved is to serve our ego. So that's why wherever we live, there's something as big as Mount Sumeru, which came about because nothing as big as our egos. Okay? And therefore, this is what makes it difficult for the Buddhists, for Buddhism to serve the Americans, the modern day thinkings. But they say, hey, besides me, what else is more important? Don't tell me I need to save this and save that. It's not for me. So that kind of Buddhism you're teaching is only for the people who are not egotistical. Okay? So anyway, so this Sumeru sound here is not tall like the way that they explain it here, like the Chinese like to explain. Sumeru means that I'm flipped to the other side. The Chinese see Sumeru as ego. I see it as loftiness. If you take the ego, who wants to get bigger and bigger and taller, and you switch that into something loftier and loftier, that's how you control your ego. So this Sumeru sound is such lofty and sublime sound that will reduce the sound of the celestial king here, will help shrink your ego, diminish your ego. That's what he does. When you hear his sound, your mind, your heart becomes more lofty. He inspires loftiness in you, as lofty as Mount Sumeru. Next, Celestial King, Eye of Pure Mindfulness.
净念眼天王
Okay, so this particular Celestial King here, according to Master YongHua, he opened his 5 eyes. What are the 5 eyes? And he only looks at the pure dharmas, not impure ones. Okay. This is the master's tips for our cultivation. Not look at only pure dharmas, not impure ones. Okay? If it's impure, don't look at it. If it's impure thoughts, don't go there. That's all you have to do. Especially you who have samadhi power, especially you who meditate, okay? You can stop your thoughts. And you recognize your thoughts as impure, you stop it. That's all. For us who have much higher level than you, we stop way sooner than you. Okay, that's all. That's a difference in Samadhi levels. How quickly you stop those impure thoughts. Does it help, boys and girls? Okay, so he opened his 5 eyes and looked at pure Dharmas only. So I'm teaching you, I'm telling you, giving you the mechanism behind his ability to see only pure Dharmas, meaning that when he sees things and impure thought arise, he chop it off immediately. Okay? And he opened his 5 eyes. The 5 eyes are flesh eye, heavenly eye, wisdom eye. What else? Anyone? Buddha eye? Dharma eye, who said that? The spies? See, the spies, they know things that we don't. Okay, so what are the 5 eyes for you to know, understand? Okay, I'll give you some tips. The flesh eyes, you can see things, okay, material things. You can see, oh, there's a red car 3 blocks away. That's a flesh eye. Not the same, this eye here, but it's a flesh eye, special spiritual eye. Okay, you can see. Okay, there's a range, you can see. Okay, material things. Heavenly eye, you can see things that are invisible to our eyes. For example, you can see in the heavens. Okay, and you can't see because we have limitations here. So you open your heavenly eye and you look at, oh, that's what the Christian God is doing with his girlfriend. Catholic, are you paying attention? Okay, they're strolling in the garden. Hey, Catholic, I'm not buying your pretending to not pay attention. Okay, so heavenly eyes, you can see the heaven, you see down to the hells and so forth. Okay, but it has a range. You cannot see into the Pure Land. Okay, what about 3rd eye, the wisdom eye? What is wisdom eye? So the flesh eye, you can have it. You meditate, you can open your flesh eye. Heavenly eye, first dhyana can open the heavenly eyes. So far, so good. Any of you can open the heavenly eyes, except for him, the Catholic. Until he gets his heaven. Yes, sir. Nine. It sounds like some sort of Nazis.
I heard the wisdom eyes for the Buddhas.
No, you're wrong. Down, boy, down. Okay, the wisdom eye, what does it do? Come on, what does it do? You should know these things. It's a general concept. Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. I believe it solves problems.
No. It's useless. The wisdom eye is totally useless. That's why it's called wisdom. Anyone? Yes, Princess. 6.
It unlocks all wisdom of the Buddha?
No, it's much lower than the Buddha. Yes, back there.
Master, is that to see everything as empty?
Right. Wisdom eye is that you have wisdom when you can drop. Wisdom is not about solving problems. Solving problems comes after you can drop things. What happened is you see, you become a better problem solver because you're able to drop your own prejudices. You can think outside of the box. You think outside of the box because you can drop all those limitations. Does it make sense? So that's why you drop all those limitations by emptying your mind. You don't just talk, I can drop my limitations. Which one are you dropping? The arhats, this is a fourth stage arhat in Pratyeka Buddha's level, where they say, I empty everything. Mama, Papa, Dada, Gaga. Okay, so you can drop everything. She's enjoying herself too much. Okay, so because you can drop everything, that's why you can see things so much clearer, so much faster. That's why it's wisdom. Is that clear? Wisdom is that you have no obstructions. You see nothing can obstruct you. So wisdom here, that's why it's called wisdom, because you can drop everything, meaning you can see everything as empty. So far, so good? It helps? So that's the third eye, wisdom eye. That's the level that only the arhats and pratyeka Buddhas have. You people below, fourth stage arhats or and higher, do not have wisdom eye. Is that clear? You have to get there. Then you can open that wisdom eye. You below, you can't. All right? Yeah. So, for example, if you are not quite a fourth stage arhat yet, then to tell you to all embracing, then we know you have some limitations. You can embrace for so much, for so long, okay, for so many days, so many hours. That's the level up below fourth stage arhat. However, when you get to fourth stage arhat, when you say, I don't know, I'm not sure I can, and I would then remind you, hey, you can. Just empty yourself. No one objecting anymore. See? Who's objecting? No one. That's a better way. You see, that's the third way to solve the problem. You see, depending on your level, this is why you have to ask the questions, because then the answer is tailored, custom tailored for you. Okay? That's why there's a principle, there is doing, is execution. What happened is these people, they read a lot, especially the Chinese. They read a lot about this book. You tell them, but yeah, I heard it before. And they quote, this sutra, that master, the other great, this patriarch, and so forth. They're all full of theories. Bodhisattva do that. This sutra says so. That's all theory. But they don't know how it applies to you because they cannot see where your problems are. This is theory for everyone. But depending on your level, you can only do so much. That's our realities. So the patriarch, the teacher, is supposed to recognize that and help you transcend your own limitations. So that's why you don't have to be impressed by people who, as soon as you say anything, say, oh yeah, Buddha says so, oh yeah, the sutra says so, because it's all theory. They have no idea what they're talking about. It's like a parakeet. They don't understand what they're talking about, okay? It's only when you ask them specifically, okay, I hate my neighbor's guts. I feel like poisoning her. How can I possibly embrace her? Okay? And that's when the answers reveals the teacher's level, his comprehension of your level, and how to address your problems. That's why I look at Master YongHua as one of the best. So that's why don't be afraid, huh? Boys and girls, don't be afraid people throwing things at you. They only throw theories and words at you, okay? But they cannot. They don't have the wisdom. That's why they throw things at you. They only throw the words and theories at you. All right? They don't understand how to do it yet. Yes, 7, 9.
This is question from Teacher Hassan. How can she recognize if she enters first dhyana or second dhyana?
Oh, she's way beyond second dhyana already. Easy question. You see? Because I listen to many monks and nuns when they ask questions like that. They say, well, let me tell you, first dhyana is this, second dhyana is, what do you think? You see, they only talk theory. They don't know what they're talking about. But this teacher Hasten is way beyond second dhyana already. What is she worried about, worrying about first, second dhyana? Irrelevant. Okay? All right. Thank you all. We stop here tonight. Yeah, thank you. It's been real. Yeah, it's.
Eyes.
Hey, time is up, girl. Don't overdo it. Don't push me. Okay, I do 2 more eyes and then we finish. Okay. Fourth eye is the Dharma eye. Dharma eye is able to recognize the Dharmas. Okay, that's the level of the Bodhisattvas. For example, only Bodhisattva like the Master YongHua would be able to tell you how to solve problems. That's real wisdom. Okay? For example, someone asked earlier, I'm going to reveal to you right now, someone asked me earlier, can they recognize in Korea the levels? In order to recognize levels, I gave you general answers only, but that's what bodhisattvas use to recognize levels. Okay, they open that eye. Okay, so the Dharma eye is the level of the bodhisattva. So you see, you have the first 2 eyes are for regular people. So that's why don't be impressed with people say, oh, I saw someone, and my disciples say, I don't see anything. Oh God, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with me? Big deal. It's like you take some binoculars, you see something, so what? What does it do? Okay? It's when they say, oh, I see the red car is empty. I say, wow, you are special. I don't. Okay? So, you see, you understand the difference. This is why we are not that impressed with people who come and say, I see you were one yin bodhisattva, or, so forth. I say, oh, yeah? Okay, can you see who I am? You understand? The non-Buddhist practitioners, they want to impress you. That's why they want to see things, hear things, and that's why they cannot get beyond 8. Don't you get it? I'm teaching you, I said, all that seeing, that hearing, that knowing is garbage. It doesn't help you. The big picture is not part of the big picture, what you want to attain. Let them see things because they get stuck. We don't see anything, but we are plodding along so happily, so free, and at ease. You got it? So it's okay. Let them tell us about things to entertain us. Like tell us about the James Bond movie, things like that. It's fun, but it's totally useless. It doesn't do anything for you. Just when I tell you about, the last movie, No Time to Die. You know how much money I spent to go watch it? $13 after my AAA rebate. My point is that, I'm joking about it, my point is that every time you see, you lose blessings. Just like I spent $13 to go see a movie, and that money gone. And it makes me sad. Because it's a very unhappy movie. I want movies that are happy. Like James Bond kills people and at the end say, I'm so happy. This movie here, he killed people and then he died. Why I spend money to see things like that? That's why I'm very unhappy. It's not the typical James Bond movie at all. Anyway. So you see, so that's why, my teacher, my instructor, students, they said, and our students tell them they can see that, can hear that. I said, let them, tell us more about it and see their limitation, okay? If, especially the ones who are so stuck on that, okay? They insist on seeing they're proud of it, they cannot make progress. They cannot go very far. It's okay. They eventually will drop out because they want to see. We don't want to see. That's why we go a lot further. No need to see. What's in it? You waste $13 for what? It's so sad. Yeah, and I know you're laughing at me now. If I knew, I would not spend $13. I would wait until it gets to, the $1 theater. I'm cheap. Okay? And that's a fourth eye. That's why when you see those things, you say, oh yeah, that's a bodhisattva. Oh, that's an arhat right there. That's doesn't matter what they say. And then finally, the fifth eye is the Buddha eye. The Buddha eye is that it can see everything, understands everything. You cannot hide from the Buddha. Yes, bye.
Master, I get very confused with the five eyes because I often heard, like Master Senhua would say, and his disciple would say, oh, some of Master Senhua's disciples have opened the five eyes. And how is that possible?
No. None of his disciples is a Buddha.
But Master Senhua would also say like that. Oh, he opened the five eyes and then he could see.
Would you like to take refuge with me? I would not say that.
Thank you, Master.
Does it mean yes? Sorry, I can't help myself. Once a recruiter, always a recruiter. Yes, Catholic. Recruiter.
So, if I remember correctly, what you were saying, the Dharma eye is when they can recognize levels. Am I correct?
That's one of the things. He recognizes a lot more. For example, it's a much more fascinating. For example, he says, let's say, we are where you are, right? The good no advisor like Master Shinwa looks at you and says, yeah, that's where you are. That's a Dharma eye. Right? Not only that, he says, I also know how to help you get to the next level or next level or next level. That's a Dharma eye as well. Okay? 6 patriarchs, even better. He says, I see where you are, and I know how to make you leap, teach you how to leap. That's the Dharma eye. You see that? It has fantastic applications. That's the difference between good no advisors. No more questions. Only because you're not Buddhist. We have our limits. We don't embrace all Buddhists. Thanks everyone. You guys are a bunch of jokers.